people. This is Squatters. It's a show. It's a web series. Tell our audience who you guys are.
My name is Brendan Bradley, and I wrote and directed Squatters and play Hank.
I am Cooper Harris, and I helped write, not really helped direct, but I played Julie. And did a lot of it.
And then we did everything else in between.
And transportation, costumes, props, all that good stuff,
Right.
art.
The world of indie filmmaker producing, you do everything. We were talking about how you had to sync the audio yourself, and you're like, I think he has a little bald spot up in the top here.
There's an ulcer in here.
What made you decide to take on a project like Squatters, shooting in New York City? Let's face it, like you're on subway trains and in offices, and you're doing this by yourself. Like, was it just a need to do it?
It started with just a pilot. Like, let's just get that out. But the idea kind of on paper expanded and expanded and expanded. So then it became too big. It became something that was like, there's no way we could make a show. Like, that's obscene. Like, we've done 30-second commercials. We can't jump to a show.
And crucial difference being, like, the commercials were for money, and this was
for no money? Yes.
This was for negative money.
Right. And so for my birthday, a year ago, Cooper arranged a table read of the first season.
What a great birthday present.
I know. So we got together with a group of friends and we heard it out loud. The overwhelming opinion was, why aren't you guys doing this?
Yeah.
And so we did it.
I'm going to tell you, when I saw the show, I was so jealous because I lived in New York City for 2 years, and for 2 years I had no camera. I really had no filmmaker friends. I got to make nothing of mine. And there you are on subways and like shooting in New York. I'm so jealous. Tell it, like, how the hell did you shoot on a subway in New York City?
At 4 a.m.
Nice.
Quickly, with a very small crew of 2 people. Well, we had our amazing DP. I have to give props to James Rodheimer because he was such a trooper. Like, seriously, out there with his camera at 4 a.m. in the subway. It's crazy. We had to plan every second.
Right.
We're not... I know they say a lot of independent things like, oh, let's just get out there and shoot some stuff. That was not us. We had a script written verbatim, what I think is a stellar, amazing script. As a producer, I was like, we're not wasting people's time because we can't pay them. So I am blocking this down to the minute that they show up. We are going to shoot. We're going to know exactly what we're going to shoot, how many people are there going to be. You know, as actors, like, I'm sure you have the same thing. You sit around on set and, like, take very good notes about what everybody else is doing wrong and how they're wasting your time.
Yeah.
And it's great because you're getting paid. But when you're not paying people, I don't think you can do that.
It was very clear that, like, this was going to be a live performance that we were then kind of capturing. We knew she's going to have to exit the subway. We're going to have to do that a couple times, so let's get back on the subway before it leaves.
Right.
So it was a very raw and real environment, which was, you know, incredibly difficult, but also incredibly fun. I mean, we shot in a real office. We had literally a cubicle. We couldn't afford, like, the whole building. And everyone was working around us with cell phones and taking meetings. And we actually, the day Sandy Parikh was there, we had to postpone filming for an hour because there was a lawyer next to us.
Oh,
and he had a client coming in. And the first time that Sandeep dropped the F-bomb, he was like, you can't do that.
His script is foul. Like,
Right.
It's the point of it. He's just absolutely, completely inappropriate.
You have that one scene, though, where you're getting mugged for the cooler.
Right.
And I'm just like, all I can think is, are there other people on this train watching this? Like, what's going on?
A lot of times when you see people, those are Sean Oakley from the Guild and Legend of Neil. He has all his sound equipment in his book bag.
Nice.
And we're all lobbed up, and he's
basically
just
our
standing there.
background.
He's standing there in frame
That is awesome.
and rolling sound, and it's great because it's like if we catch him, he's a guy. You know,
Yeah.
He's a guy on the train.
Like a dude chilling. We have over 24 locations and over 60 cast members,
Jeez.
which is a bad idea. I would never... I mean, it was my first real producing of a narrative piece, so I would never, ever let anyone write that. And if I did let them write it, I would quickly chop it out before I produced it, because it's a mess.
Did you guerrilla Home Depot?
Home Depot is a location. I mean, again, it goes back to it's this weird dance of for how guerrilla we were. We also did plan, and so, like for example, Home Depot. We were talking to them 6 months before we shot that scene, trying to get permission. trying to get permission to be in Home Depot,
Weekly.
trying, calling people. We'd go to every Home Depot in the city. They said we have to talk to corporate. We called everybody there is to call in corporate. And finally, we just dressed a soundstage to look like Home Depot. We just gave up.
Yeah.
Because Home Depot you weren't interested.
You
missed out on that. There's one room in a soundstage that we used for 6 locations, and we literally changed the colors of the walls.
Really?
Like, we would get that little contact paper that you get for shelves, and we put it all over the walls to change the color of the wall, and we'd move furniture around, and we'd bring in furniture from other places. So this same little room became 6 of our locations.
While they were shooting in one room, Brenda would be directing them over here, and I would have my crew quickly dressing, say, the Home Depot, right? And we knew we had 2 or an hour to shoot in there. And then we'd move them out of there, take that down, start putting up the next one while he was directing the next room. So this we literally had maybe an hour in each of these rooms. You know, it was planned down to like the minute.
If you could say 3 things to our audience out here, 3 things to make sure you have before you move forward, what would those 3 things be?
A script.
Like a good,
solid, written, like, so that other people can read it too. It's not just in your head, because it's so crucial that everybody has something to follow.
You need trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I think trust is absolutely, everybody's got to trust in each other. They've got to trust in the story. They've got to trust in the script. They've got to trust in what each other are doing. Because as soon as you lose that, as soon as you're not a cohesive family,
I think that's where fighting starts to happen.
That's where the fighting and creative differences starts happening. I think creative differences really comes out of mostly people not trusting the idea enough, or not trusting themselves enough, that it's going to come across. You know, that we've all come to this place, we've all agreed on this story. We can trust it, even if the scene's not playing in the moment, it will get edited there, or you know, even if, like, oh my God, we're on an actual subway train and somebody walks on and we just goofed that whole side of that take. No, we can make it work.
You need people who are kind of like get done people, you know, they're just gonna get in there and do it, and they're excited about it, because, you know, probably not gonna be making a lot of money on this kind of thing. So you have somebody who's like lackadaisical, couldn't care less. You know, you really have to have like a sense of energy and excitement, or it's completely pointless. Then the problem becomes convincing really good, positive, talented people who know what they're doing to like work for little to no money.
And that goes to planning out ahead of time, so that the cast members that are working for very, very little, or the people
don't feel abused.
They show up, they work really hard and do their thing, and then they're gone.
Yes.
And you've done all of the time and all the planning and all the grueling work, so that everybody else can just contribute what they agreed to contribute, and then they're gone.
The excitement that you've generated for Squatters. I mean, I went to the premiere, red carpet premiere, you know, there were celebrities there, it was a packed house. What do you feel was the key to success for that?
The people, everybody, you guys, you, Jen, you were amazing. You helped us out. I mean, it was great. Just the support of everybody. That's what's cool about this, is we all support each other, because we're all super passionate about everything we're doing. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
You know, Squatters is coming out every Monday, and then I think really you look at a lot of people already want a season 2, at least in the cast and in the crew. They're talking about it. They want it. They would love to do it again.
Well, and season 2 is written.
And season 2 is written, because you know, we kind of wrote it all in one big shot. So it's there textually, but I think it really will come to I am out of money and credit.
And retirement fund.
So someone give them money. You guys are adorable together on screen as well. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jen.
Today.
Thank you so much.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Cooper.
We're from the Squatters series, and we're making it happen.